Et yo tout le monde, c'est Game et on se retrouve sur Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Les gars, je ne connais pas ce jeu, mais d'après la bande-annonce, je sens que je vais me régaler. Voilà. Donc on va découvrir ce jeu ensemble. J'ai fait juste exprès de regarder la bande-annonce, parce que, bien sûr, quand je joue à un jeu que je veux mettre sur YouTube, je regarde bien sûr la bande-annonce, mais je regarde pas son gameplay. Du coup, je ne sais pas ce que je vais m'attendre. Voilà. Donc c'est parti.
This is the story of a man named
L'histoire d'un homme
Stanley.
appelé Stanley. Ok.
Stanley worked for a company in a
Stanley
big
travaillait pour
building
une entreprise
where he
installée
was
dans un grand immeuble où
employee
il était
number
employé.
427.
Numéro 427.
Employee number
Le travail de l'employé
427's job
427
was
était
simple.
simple.
He sat at his desk
Il
in
devait s'asseoir
room
derrière son ordinateur de
427 and
bureau
he pushed
427
buttons
et
on the
appuyer sur les touches
keyboard.
de son clavier.
Orders came to him through a
L'instruction lui
monitor on
parvenait
his
à
desk,
travers un écran
telling
sur son
him what
bureau,
buttons to push,
lui
how
indiquant quelle
long to
touche
push
passer
them,
pour quelle durée et pour
and in
quel
what
ordre.
order. This is what employee
L'employé
427
427 faisait
did
exactement la
every
même chose
day,
jour après jour, mais
every
après
month
mois,
of
année après
every
année,
year. And although others
certains
might have
y
considered
verraient
it
un
sordid,
abrutissement de
Stanley
lettres.
relished
Mais Stanley
every
adorait
moment
ce
of
trajet
the
à
orders
l'instant où les
given,
instructions lui
as
apparaissaient
though he
et
had
il se
been made
sentait comme né pour ce
exactly for this
travail.
job. And
Je suis
Stanley
aveugle. Et
was
Stanley était
happy.
heureux. Il est aveugle.
And then one day,
Et soudain, un
something very
jour,
peculiar
survint un
happened.
événement très curieux.
Something that would
Un événement
forever
qui
change Stanley.
changerait Stanley
Something
à
he
tout
would
jamais.
never
Un
quite
événement qu'il
forget.
ne pourrait jamais
He had
oublier.
been at his desk
Il
for
était
nearly
assis à
an
son bureau
hour when
depuis
he
bientôt une
realized that
heure
not
quand il
one
réalisa pour une seule
single
instruction
order had
il était
arrived on the monitor for
il
him
était
to
parvenu à
follow.
l'écran.
No
Ah,
one had showed up to give
d'accord.
him
Personne n'était venu
instructions,
le voir
call
pour lui
a
donner des
meeting,
ordres.
or
Il était à
even
une
say
réunion, ni même le
hi.
saluer.
Never in all
Durant
his
toutes ses
years
années
at
dans
the
l'entreprise, il
company
n'avait jamais
had
fait
this
l'expérience d'un
happen,
tel silence
this
autour de lui.
complete isolation. Something was very clearly
Assurément, quelque
wrong.
chose n'allait pas.
Shocked,
Choqué et
frozen
comme
solid,
engourdi par
Stanley
l'effroi,
found
Stanley
himself
fut
unable to
incapable de
move for the
bouger pendant de
longest
longues
time.
minutes.
But as he came to his wits and
Enfin,
regained
il
his
retrouva ses
senses,
esprits et
he
son
got up
calme,
from his
et
desk
s'éleva de sa
and
chaise et
stepped out
sortit
of
de
his
son
office.
bureau. Ok. Je sens que ce jeu va me...
All of his co-workers were
Tous ses
gone.
collègues avaient
What could
disparu.
it mean?
Mais pourquoi?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Il
Perhaps he
décida
had simply missed a
d'aller se
memo.
rendre au salon de réunion.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ouais.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, il y a un truc. Oh, quel dégât. Moi, j'étais un risque. Ah, il y a un ordi là-bas.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, wesh. Attends, il me dit, vas-y, va à gauche. Mais si je vais à droite, ça fait quoi? Je meurs? Vas-y. Je vais à droite.
This was not the correct
Ce
way
n'était
to
pas la
the
bonne
meeting
façon de se rendre
room,
à la
and
salle de
Stanley
réunion
knew
et
it
Stanley avait
perfectly well.
parfaitement
Perhaps
pensé.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge
Peut-être qu'il
first,
voulait
just to
d'abord passer par
admire
la
it.
salle de pause pour l'admirer. Ils sont combien dans l'immeuble, frère?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Vas-y, ah, regarde, je fais tout.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ah, d'accord.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good
Ah,
job,
d'accord.
Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Oh, je suis retourné au début.
All of his co-workers were
Oh
gone.
là là.
What could it mean?
Oh, c'est très
Stanley
chelou.
decided to go to... Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Ah, c'est moi, c'est le
I'm
quatrième
not
ligne.
asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oui, what?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't
Tout est
supposed to be
possible,
a
quoi,
choice.
wesh.
How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I
Oh,
won't have that kind of
c'est
risk on
comme...
my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making
Pas skip.
process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices
Je
per
pense que je vais
day.
vous skipper
Do
ça.
you
Ouais.
make more than 8? Less? And
You may have
Ah.
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Ah,
That
c'est bon.
story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Ah, c'est bizarre, on dirait ils ont mis des barrières exprès parce que je suis mort tout à l'heure. On dirait comme un Undertale, ça on dirait ce que t'avais fait avant. Hmm.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm
Okay.
quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Ballesté,
When
voilà.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
What? Non, je reste ici. Non, je peux aller là. Bon, bah, on peut pas.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you... My story! You've destroyed my work! Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
What? Non? Oh. Wesh. What the fuck? Ah, il a tout
I'm still
ici.
here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed.
Ouais.
It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Putain, il a défini.
My story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Mais bon. On va celle de gauche.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wesh. C'est quoi ça? Le bureau de son chef, mais c'est truqué, mais c'est pas possible. What the hell? Hein?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Ah, 1-5. T'imagines, ça marche. 1-1-5.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
Attends.
He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Oui. Night Shark 115. Je sais pas.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Oui.
You didn't mishear me, did you?
Oui.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me?
The fuck?
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Attends, t'es en train de dire c'est une fin sur je sais pas combien.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Hein? Les crédits sont
Take
arrêtés.
as much time as you need.
Les crédits sont arrêtés, c'est un bug? Oh, wesh. Oh. Ok les gars, donc je pense que je vais faire plusieurs parties de ce jeu. Donc là on vient de faire la première fin je pense du jeu. Donc on se retrouve pour une prochaine partie. Ou du moins j'ai fini vraiment le jeu, tu sais. Non je pense pas. Mais voilà. Mais voilà. Donc moi je vous dis ciao. À la prochaine pour la deuxième partie de Stanley. Je vous dis ciao. C'était Game Game. Bye bye.
PlayStation